Hi, I'm Danny Butler.
Hi, I'm Jack Price.
And I'm Stu Day.
And this is a Trialtube podcast. Right, welcome back. And this week we are joined by Extreme Enduro Export, Jack Price, former Trial GP rider, former Junior World Trials champion, former SSDT winner, two-time Scott Trial winner.
4 times.
4-time Scott Trial winner. Should have done your research better, Danny Butler, you loser. And
Basically, Britain's best no-stop rider, if you reckon that up.
yeah, he is actually. Yeah.
Got to be by a mile.
That has really got to make all the, shall we say, the fuddy-duddies that bang on about no stop.
Happy.
Oh, mate, honestly,
Happy.
right now.
He must be their golden child, their big bollocks. Woo! He never stops, Luke. He never stops. True enough.
I've never thought about it like that.
What the world's best no-stop rider?
Yeah.
It's true, though.
Is that
The-
what you
the
set out to
results-
be when you got into trials?
The results say so, though.
And Sherco factory rider?
Yeah, Sherco UK.
Sherco UK.
Yeah, from the factory, so yeah. But yeah, no.
There's still time, mate. The firing riders left, right and centre.
I'm sure the factory's looking down and going double thumbs up.
Yeah. Well, we hope so.
And enjoying riding more than ever. It seems that you're just having a laugh. Select events,
Yeah.
no pressure, just a big giggle.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like I've almost found a new love for trials again. Like I sort of fell out of love with it in 2020, end of 2020, a few injuries and stuff like that. And then, yeah, a bit away, went to Twin Enduro, and then I sort of started having more success in the Scott, and then came back to it, and I was like, yes, I want to actually ride my trials back again.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite cool how my year works, really. I ride Enduro from sort of January to March, and then get ready for 6 days March until May, back on the Enduro bike until sort of beginning of September, and then get ready for the Scott then, and then don't touch the bike until Christmas. So.
And takes all the pressure off.
I'm not sure if it takes the pressure off because I've got a very sneaky suspicion.
No.
I've got a sneaky suspicion. And when I say sneaky, I mean
A lot.
it's obvious that Jack spends a lot of time on the bike because by Scotland or the Scott Trial or the select events that you do, it looks like you've never left the sport, if you understand my meaning. You know, when people leave and lose the flow, but you look comfy.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of time to get to that point, though. I think when I first get on the bike, I'm like, oh, I feel quite good. I haven't really lost it, but my timing is definitely out, and I can definitely feel that. So
Really?
yeah. When I watch videos back, I'm like, ooh.
Okay.
But I don't think other people will notice it. It's just me.
I've never seen that with
So-
Trial. It just always looks seamless.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So I think you're always your worst critic, aren't you? But
Obviously, you've got your enduro skill set and your trial skill set. Have you got to the point now it is literally just flicking a switch in your brain and both are second nature now, but it's different?
yeah, I think
Or does
so.
it take a bit of recalibration?
No, I think so. Like because I'm trying to get ready for 6 days now. I'm not riding any enduro, but I've got to ride the British Championship, so I'm going to ride the race on Sunday.
Right.
But I haven't rode it for a good few weeks now,
Okay.
since the last race.
That's good. That's a high level of professionalism, that is,
So-
if you can go...
Yeah, so I'll just jump back on it on Sunday morning on the start line, and that'll be me away then. So
Now, obviously, during this episode, very quickly, before we move on further
Yes,
down the
important
black
bit.
hole, the important bit, this week's video sponsor is Kamiyamoto, who are one of the supporters of you as well, Jack, isn't that right?
yeah, the way that it works is Sherco UK, they supply the bikes to a certain shop. So Kamiyamoto is the shop that I get my bikes through. So yeah,
Fair play. He
So-
knows a lot about Shercos.
He does, in all fairness.
He does,
and
he does.
Rich, obviously, former guest and, passionate trials rider and another person that's getting ready for the Scottish.
And just a bloody nice bloke all round.
Yeah, nice guy.
Regardless, he's just bloody ace. He is.
Yeah, he is cool. So Kamiyamoto is this week's episode sponsor, but we'll come back to that in a little bit.
Yep.
Now, there's a few bits that have, shall we say, excited us about getting you onto the podcast, Jack. But we're going to get into those in a little bit because I think it would be a huge injustice if we didn't cover a little bit about, shall we say, your up-and-coming journey through the Trial GP ranks as well. Because I know that it's great to celebrate where you are now in the career, but people often see the end result. They see the shiny penny. They don't see the hard work and the graft that goes into it. And if you fall out of love with a sport and then get back into it, that just tells us one thing, and that is that you've been doing it far too long.
Yes. Or too much.
Or too much.
Yeah.
Now, so for anybody that's obviously brand new to the podcast or listening to, the episode right now and is new to you as well, because there is like a whole new, shall we say, audience in trials, especially since lockdown. Just give us a little bit of the background of shall we say, your up and coming journey, because obviously you're a gas rider for a very long time as well.
Yeah,
If we could also because I'm a curious bugger, I might just sort of jump in with an odd as
fine.
well, which I'm going to do now. So first ever bike, an age. When did you start? Was it like straight out your mum?
It was a
and
PW
onto
50.
Pee-wee?
Pee-wee 50.
It was a Pee-wee 50?
Yeah. My brother, our next door neighbour, they were not into bikes, but they had bikes. So my brother, who's 4 years older, he got a bike. Obviously, I then wanted to do what my brother was doing.
Of course.
So I got a PW50. We used to just go around the field, but my parents were never into it or anything like that. But yeah, we ended up getting trials bikes, and we went to Mansfield Morn. And just sort of started riding a little bit, and then...
What was your first ever trials bike then? What did you go for? You went from the Pee-wee to...
I think a Beta 50 Auto.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
A mini trial?
Yes, and then I think I went to Gas 50 Auto then.
Wow.
And I had a couple of them.
Yeah,
so.
gas boy.
Yeah. I always had to ask
How
my
many
dad
times
to
did that
pull-
break down?
It didn't, not many.
Did he not?
No.
Wow.
But I can just remember riding in first gear and then it not going fast enough, so then I had to go and find my dad to pull it into second
Because
I
it was
strong
on
enough.
it was on a
They were.
shaft
Yeah,
gearbox.
shaft. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. I've just had a flashback.
TX
yes.
boy. I
When
remember
it was
them
in
coming
second,
out.
it was fast.
Wow.
It was fast in
So,
second.
so it was certainly not a case of push your mum and dad.
No.
Our Jack's going to be the next big thing. It's grown organically.
Yeah, it's never been like that ever.
Brilliant.
So yeah, started with that, and then I went to a Richmond British Championship, and I think it was like my middle year of D class. And I think I was second. I think Lee Seagley won, and he was on like 6, and I was second on like 132 or something.
We've
all been there.
We've all had them
Yeah.
moments. We still do.
And I think that he was moving up into the C class. So then we sort of thought, oh, let's just do the full series next year, just see how it goes. And then, it went well. I think I won the D class and then moved up to C class. And I was always quite a slow burner when I moved up. I never sort of went in with a bang. So I moved up to C class. And
What bike would you have been on in C class?
Beta 80.
Beta 80, the big wheel 80.
The big wheel. We didn't have...
It got so many
Small
people
wheels.
going, didn't it? The
Yeah.
Beta 80.
There was no other bike.
There wasn't.
that point for
I
us.
think the only one that's knocked it off its crown now is the new TRS 80.
We can talk about that, but obviously the TRS-80 has got like a makeshift KTM engine in it,
Right.
and
Well,
it's not like a...
So then
then-
onwards.
Yeah, I struggled with the clutch then quite a lot, like being able to build the revs on the bike. And then I think I moved up to about 4th in the class the next year. I broke my arm in the first year,
Ooh.
I think on a pedal bike, and then just didn't really do anything. And
On a
just
pedal
struggled.
bike.
Yeah.
Got to watch out for that, mate. Dead dangerous.
They are
Bloody dangerous things and pedal bikes are.
Yeah.
Was it a push bike trials bike that you broke your arm on by any
No,
chance?
push bike, mountain bike.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
Way
You're
safer.
off the hook there.
I'm off the hook.
Yeah.
And then, struggled that year, moved into the second year of C class. Now I think I was 4th. And then I won it in my last year, moved up to the B class, and again, never really set the class alight.
On a 125
On
then?
a 125 gas.
Gasser.
Um,
What year would that be then? What model?
2010.
Ooh, they were good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I won the C
They,
class.
they were
in
nice
09, I
bikes
think.
then.
So
That
then
was
moved
just
in-
the pre-pro, wasn't it?
No.
it was a pro.
No. Second year in
Yeah.
the pro.
Pro.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because Richard Timpley. I used to go practicing at Richard Timpley on a Wednesday night, and he had an 09 one.
No. I've got a
It was really
turn.
nice. And then moved up to with the B class. I think I was like 8th in the first year, and then I managed to win it in my second year, and then moved up to the A class a year early. Asked the ACU permission, moved up, and then I won the A class in my last year of B class. Then,
Mega.
and then I didn't really
Fair
have
play.
anywhere else to go, so I did the A class again. Did that again, and then I moved up to the adults just a year early. Then, so
Fair play.
It was a hive
But
of talent, though, at that period as well, because obviously
Yeah, it
in your
was.
class would have been you.
there was me. Ewan Roberts was always there or thereabouts. Billy.
Billy Bolt.
Yeah, Dan Peace. Toby
Gosh,
Martin was just underneath us.
It is stacked, isn't
It
it?
was a stacked class then, yeah, I remember
There's
that.
talent there.
Like Luke Walker was obviously riding quite a lot at that point. They're both Bullet brothers, Jack Stones, James Stones, Rob Waite. There was a lot of good riders.
a lot of good riders.
Yeah,
Real
you
hybrid
had to
talent.
work your socks off.
Yeah. So no, it was really good. But I think that's why there was such a good pool of riders.
Diamonds are forged under pressure, boys.
It pushed you forward. Yeah, that's that. You rise to the occasion on
Old
it.
school saying, you are who you ride with.
Yeah,
Fair
that's
play.
it. I agree. So then, moved into the adults, and
Big shock.
yeah, big shock. I can remember when, because my brother was riding, obviously at that time still. He had a gas 300, and I went to Scarborough, and Billy had borrowed an Ossa, like a 300.
Wow.
I'd borrowed a 300 gasser from my brother, and we just went to. My mum took me up. And we both went, and we just went all loose. And that was it. We were just like hitting as big a jumps as we possibly could, because obviously we'd just been on 125s.
Yeah.
The biggest jumps, splats, rocks, anything. There was some crashes that day.
Getting used to the
It was
big
basically,
power.
you'd spent all this time
Yeah.
without power, and it was about technique and lift
Yeah.
and timing. And all of a sudden, somebody give you everything you didn't have.
All the big
All
boy
in one go.
toys
Yeah.
in one dollop.
Yeah. So then that was it. Yeah, we just went out, and
Oh, fair play. Good memories
that was
then.
it. Yeah, really, really good memories. And then moved into the adults.
Straight on to a 300.
Yes, straight to 300. Yeah, there was no.
Was it a 300 gasser?
Yes.
Through
There wasn't anything with the.
So
250
obviously, your sponsors are starting to get a little bit, obviously knowing you.
Yeah,
So was that through Shirty then?
Yeah, through Shirty at that. It was through Road and Trials when I was coming up through the youth. They were really good to me.
Yeah,
and then
they are lovely.
Yeah, and then I started then riding more and more World Championship. Shirty got a lot more involved then, because obviously it was Gas UK.
Of course,
so.
yeah.
Um,
He's supported so many good riders through the years.
Yeah, yeah.
It has to be said.
I think a lot of the, shall we say, a lot of the men's expert class now, or men's trial 2 class, at some point, everybody's worn JSM.
He's really helped so many people.
Yeah.
Well
Or JST, as it was.
Well done, Shirty.
yeah, he's just a good bloke, and he's just. Yeah, he's it.
He's great value on here, I can tell you now.
I could.
I couldn't believe
We must
it.
get him back on soon.
Just before Scotland. He's turned into like Mr. Scotland.
He keeps sending me pictures like 8 o'clock in the morning out of the river. He's probably gonna ring me up, giving me a bollocking now, because I'm outing him for going out at 8 o'clock in the morning practicing. But he's been sending me pictures of him out on the river and stuff like that.
I knew it. I was like, I was up there the other day, and I said to him, I was like, "You riding much?" No, not too much. I'm like,
Faber.
what a little bull.
We were up there yesterday, me and Mr. Dance, and I went out on an enduro bike. And I'm like, your knee ain't that bad if you're out on an enduro bike, kiddo.
No, that's true. And then it was. I rode Europeans then for a little bit, because the Europeans were quite a big thing when I was growing up, but they're not really a thing anymore.
Yeah,
So,
why do you think that is?
Don't know.
Is it more people just doing trial 2 or
I think it's
other things?
I think there's
or?
that. Like the youth and junior categories are a lot more highly rated now
Yes.
than they were.
Because there is real world classes.
Yeah, and the manufacturers just don't really support the European Championship.
Well, the bulk of the riders are European anyway.
Yeah.
99%. So it's a bit of a pointless
Also,
championship.
there wasn't such prestige behind the likes of Trial 3, which obviously there is Trial 3
it's a
now,
full
which
world
is it's a
championship,
full world
yeah.
championship.
And,
It's a full kind of,
it should be prestigious.
of course. And also the riding in the 125 class, as it was when you were there as well, from what I remember, the riding that they're pulling off aboard a 125. Like, you've got to tip your hat to them. Like
Every
big
year
balls.
they're getting better and better and better
Yeah,
and better and better.
yeah.
It's mad.
Mega
It's
riding.
everything in it. The bike's getting better, the training's getting better, the riders are getting better. Just
Correct.
That together, it just
Well, we'll come back to that in a bit, definitely.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to cover in this episode, which is mental.
So next from the career, then where did it go? Or the,
started
or
doing
the
World
highlights of on the road to.
Yeah, so I started doing the World Championship, and my first full season was 2015, I think, where I managed to get to all the rounds. And I think I had 2 wins. One was in Sweden and one was in America.
Oh, fair play.
And I think I finished like 7th in the championship, though, because there was quite a lot of winners. Every other round was a different winner. Similar
And
to
who were
Trialtube
you
round.
riding in that class there? What can you?
You're really trying to get my memory going here.
I am. That's kind of what we do.
Me.
Who were you? Who were in that stacked? That must have been stacked then as well.
Yeah, so there was me, Franzi Cadleck, Busto was like 14. I think he actually moved into the top class in 15.
Gail Chatagnon.
Yeah, Nogueira, Oriol Nogueira, Miguel Jalabert, Binkaz, Anyo was probably a bit younger than me.
Big
obviously
names.
Billy Bolt, Dan Peace, Jack Peace, Toby Martin,
big names.
Butler Brothers. Yeah.
Was they?
You did
that
well,
the
win a
years
couple
where,
rounds.
where Gratta went back down as well?
He was just after that.
Was he?
Yeah. So then, that was in 2015. Then 16, I went, and it was when I was actually getting proper help from the factory from Gas.
Okay.
And I turned up, and you got the new coats and everything like that. And I was really ready for the first round, and I went and finished 7th. I was like, this is not
Didn't go to plan.
No. And then I think I was 3rd on the Sunday, which was nice just to get a podium.
Yep.
It was nice. And then went to Japan, and then that was when my year really started then.
Okay.
So I think I went.
Did you put too much pressure on yourself going into that first one?
I don't know. I think it's just hard. The first one's just always just everybody's
nervous. Somebody's
nervous, somebody's hyped up. It's just until you get 3 or 4 rounds in, I feel as though you just don't really see who the
you don't quite know where you're at.
No, I know. So
things need to settle.
Got on a brawl, then started riding really well in Japan. And then I think I ended up with I won the championship in the UK, which was really nice. And then went straight for a drugs test.
I was about to say, did really well. So because I did well, they wanted me to pee in a cup.
So I think I had like seven wins that year or something like that, and then quite a few podiums and stuff. I don't think I was off the podium from Japan until I won the championship. So
good.
That was
solid.
Yeah, that was the major thing, really.
So obviously that first year on the world scene isn't cheap to do.
No.
And the financial fairies don't just flutter about and go, oh, there you go, wallop. So how did you or your family, or how did it get funded, or was there a patron saint of pocket money?
Yeah, so I was still a sixth form at that point, and I can remember saying, I can't do school and ride my bike. I just can't, because I need to put too much time into riding my bike, or I need to put too much time in school. I'm like half doing both. So I went and sat down with Mum and Dad. I said, I either ride full time or I start working and go to uni and stuff. So my dad was like, you should go to school. There's no money in trials. My mum was like, you're not going to ever be this age again. So I basically convinced my dad, which was not the easiest thing. And then, I just managed to get a load of sponsors that quite a lot of them are still with me now.
Oh, brilliant. And beg, steal and borrow.
Yeah, not necessarily. I think at that point I tried to sell myself. You can help, you can do this, and I'll give you X, Y, and Z. Whereas I feel there's quite a lot of people now go, I need some money to ride in this round, which is okay, but sponsors have got to see something, haven't they? They've got to see
here we go. Now this is something that we do harp on a little bit sometimes about, especially on the podcast. Jack he's just hit the nail on the head. People, sponsors, those that invest in you need to see value for money.
Return on investment.
ROI. And to keep sponsors happy, shall we say sponsors, or people that put their financial backing behind you alongside, again, don't get this misconstrued at any point. Financial backing can come in many forms. Mm-hmm. It could be a parts budget, it could be clothing budget, it could be oil, it could be tires, it could be
anything,
travel,
absolutely,
whatever it is somebody sticking their neck out on the line, sometimes a little bit too far, and then they get told off for it. But what then the rider needs to do is show value for money. And like Jack's just said, then when it comes down to it, to keep sponsors over a certain period of time, that shows that you are worth the investment. It shows that you are willing to train. It shows that you are willing to put yourself out there. Like today, full disclosure, Jack has come here completely for free.
Yep.
He's not under duress.
No. He's just wanted to come down and sit and talk trials.
Because he loves the sport.
Give a bit back to the sport.
That's it.
And that's literally it. So,
and you don't know who you later. there might be a little, little Johnny watching this who's inspired by you. Yeah, and that's what it's about.
That is what it's about.
We all have as heroes. I mean, that's a great question. Who was your biking hero then when you were getting into it in B class
It's
or
it's
A
a
class?
difficult one.
Or?
I think Tony. I know it's a standard one, but the amount he's won
Oh
is
yeah,
just obscene.
he is a legend. That
And it's
is
just-
official.
The dominance is
think
just...
possibly in your life, who was the last world champion you remember prior to Tony?
Well, I can remember when I was in D class, like going to Hawkstone and stuff like that, and Doug was still pretty good at that point.
Right.
But not winning.
No, he was still top 3 though, I think.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. But I think Adam
How
was
old
sort
are
of...
we?
I
How
know,
old are we?
but what I mean
Was
is,
it 06 or 07?
so
I
for
know where you're
Jack,
going with this.
The majority of his trials life,
Yeah, but all of it.
all of
pretty
it
much.
basically, there's
Was
been
Tony.
one world champion.
You know, and I'm going, I love Geordie, and you're like, I love Dougie or whoever. But yeah, that just goes how
Yeah.
long Tony has been at the top.
Yeah.
That
That amount of time, that proves
What are
it.
you, 20?
27.
20?
See, this is what
That's
people.
how much of a legend Tony is.
There's unfortunately, due to the likes of social media, like, share, and subscribe. Due to that, to us having social media, a lot of the time you see comments that say stupid crap like trial GP's broken and it's a circus. I'm just literally paraphrasing right now because this is some of the crap that you get that you hear, and people, in a way, take respect away from the level of these guys. And they're like, the problem with trials is that Tony Bowe has won too many. I'm like,
No.
he's
a
worked
legend.
for him. He
No,
hasn't just he hasn't been gifted him on a plate.
No. We're witnessing something we're never going to witness again.
He's the greatest rider of all time.
No other rider is going to be that good. And that's proof right
Yeah,
there.
it's nuts. But even like when I was out in Spain, like he probably wasn't the first there, but when you were there, he was practicing the hardest
Yeah,
by far.
yeah.
Every single
The
time
first
he
one
went.
up, the last one
Not
back.
necessarily first one there, but every time he went, he was like
Graft him.
grafting.
Well, Jack will attest to this.
Grafting.
Back when I had a brief period of minding and I was out in Spain, we'd go for breakfast and he'd turn up in dirty gear.
Yeah.
What does dirty gear mean when you ride for Honda? Does it mean that he's put yesterday's gear on?
No, he'd been out and done 3 hours.
Or has he already been riding? Which one is it? Like,
Yeah, but I think it's amazing that he's won so much and he still actually can be bothered to go out riding like that. Just in itself is just
that must be a thing. And you touched on earlier that you'd fell out of love with trials.
Yeah.
How the hell does Tony still manage to be in love for that long?
I think the financial gain will be quite a big part of it. But
I was sort of thinking the same.
I mean,
yeah.
obviously there is that, and there's been interviews in the past on like the likes of like Total Trial and Trial Spain where they've spoken to Tony and they said riding for Honda changed his life. It didn't allow him to pursue his passion. It changed his life.
Yeah.
They were that
100%.
strict with him.
Well, no, just the financial backing of riding for HRC and then winning was just changed everything about the way he lived.
Well, it's just that infrastructure, though. If he goes out riding, he's got 3, maybe 4 minders. That's reducing his injury.
Of course.
It's increasing his confidence, and everything that he does is done for him. But he's earned that. But when Marcelli went to HRC, they put everything into that rider immediately, and it's like that's the monetary thing that you can't really buy. You
can't buy that.
Honda
And
are
if you were to
a
buy it, it
big
would cost you
corporation
hundreds of
with
thousands a year.
Yeah, and it's important. All they care about is winning. That is it. Nothing
Literally,
else.
the out when I was doing the Subaru Fantic episode when we were out in Spain with Mecca Techno, we had some lunch and a couple of guys turned up and I recognised them and I was just like, who are these people? Why do I know these faces? And it was like Tony's Minders having a day off, and I was like,
Why have you got a day off?
How did
Why
you
have
get a day
not
off? Do you know what I mean? And they were like,
catching him.
and what they did, also, it's a different kind of passion out there. Their day off was spent talking about Fantics.
Yeah.
Like, what a passionate bunch of people.
I'd have got on along well with them.
Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like the perfect storm.
Yeah, I think he's got so many people around him that it like
Positive.
he's got one of his best friends that is like his practice minder that doesn't even go to races really,
Oh wow.
and just practices with him in the week and stuff like that. Which he doesn't want to go to race because he doesn't want to be away from his family, but then he's still involved, which
they've got it sorted on every level, haven't they?
Oh, they have.
They've got it sorted. So even the minders can't get bored of minding because they have their downtime and go play Fantics. What a genius team.
It's just,
and that's why they're untouchable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But like
all of that costs money.
It costs a lot of money, the infrastructure's around him, but he still gets up every day and goes practice.
Yeah, it revolves around him.
And he's just
So Tony
an animal.
Tony is about 9 months older than me. And genuinely, there's many days now where I wake up and go, I'm tired. You know what I mean? So if he's waking up and riding at that level, like, again, Adam Raga, his ability to get to that point
I don't
was
think
silly.
he goes riding in North Staffordshire weather. I'll be
you're not
honest.
reckoning?
It's a bit warmer and a bit drier over there. It's not.
I know, but when
they don't do frost on windows
obviously
in
people
spring.
always say that we've got a coat on the podcast or whatever, but like,
It's because it's freezing in here.
it's good for the cameras.
It
Right?
was quite warm today.
I know he thinks, genuinely thinks
Sat
it's
next to
warm
the
right
fire
now.
up and it's come on.
It's way warmer than it's been for weeks.
Where's the switch to put this on?
It's called a fire.
No, it's a real
logs
fire,
and
that one,
coal,
Jack.
yeah.
It's like, we're in the sticks. But genuinely, like, people don't understand that these gentlemen that are riding, Tony, 37 years old, Adam, 42, 43, what was he when he stopped?
42, I think.
42.
Yeah.
42. And in his last season, he deserved another riding contract aboard the Sherco. Like, mega. What a season, if you know what I mean.
I think he just decided, I've had enough.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think he'd got misses and nippers and wanted to do life.
That's another thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Life. He were like, right, I'm now 41. And that's the whole of that has just been try. And he perhaps got the same again if he's lucky and everything goes well. Maybe just wants to do his own thing now with the second half of his life.
And that comes to people at different points. Like,
Yeah.
Jack's just got
people a
married.
bit younger. Yeah,
Like, and for you, Jack, when you stepped away from Trial GP, obviously you said that you fell out of love with it. What do you think was the main catalyst of the, shall we say, the first breakup?
Well, I was always with Gas, and then it was in the period where KTM were buying Gas, and I was kind of promised a contract from the factory, and they were like, yeah, it's coming, don't worry, it's just bit of time. And I was always signing at sort of like September. I was always doing like 1 year deals. And then it kind of got a little bit past that and started getting to October, and I'm thinking, could do with something now. Anyway, it never really came. And then they just basically said, we don't have any budget for you this year. I'm like...
And all that time you could have been tapping up other avenues.
Then I'm knocking on the door at November, December, and everybody's already spent the budgets. Nobody's got a ride. So then, not in a bad way or a good way, it's a good way. Doug then said that I'll help you out, but obviously...
On the Vertigo.
And then, COVID came. I broke my clavicle on a pedal bike again.
In lockdown.
Just gonna put this out there, mate.
Yeah.
Dead dangerous, these
Bloody
bicycles.
bicycles.
Bloody dangerous, mate.
Which obviously was tricky to go into hospitals and even see people at that point.
Oh, of course.
Me and Jack have got something in common through
nightmare.
COVID, haven't we?
So then,
We've been through a nice long lie down.
3 months went by and didn't really get anywhere with my shoulder. I kind of did, but it was very slow because I couldn't see the right people. And then when got back on a trials bike, then they compacted the World Championship then to like, I think it was like 3 weekends back to back to try and cram it in. And then I went to Isola and I had not really ridden much. And I thought, I am going to crash my brains out here. Because I wasn't riding at a decent level at that point because my shoulder wasn't great.
So of course, you couldn't even you couldn't train
And your
because of
first
injury.
round
It
was
weren't a
Andorra?
lockdown problem.
No,
It was an injury
Isola.
problem.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
2000.
Oh, 2000, yeah.
Yeah, so you got altitude along with not riding, and it's not the most forgiving place.
Wow.
Went there and actually rode quite well. I was like, this isn't as bad as I
thought it was going to be.
there, yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to Spain, and on the first day I went up like a cliff face, and it like spun, and my minder managed to grab it, but then it like threw me back off a cliff, and they'd streamed underneath it, but they'd left these little stumps. So as I landed, it landed on my hamstring, and then just basically tore my hamstring.
Oh.
So, but it wasn't a severe like tear, but it was bad enough that I wasn't able
You
to
ain't going to be
ride.
riding.
No, that were it.
So then took fives for that day, took fives for the next day, and then went to see Adam's brother, who's a physio, that week, because there was another round that week, and I can't remember what it was. And then, basically couldn't really ride that weekend either.
No, you don't mend quick from them injuries.
No, so
you don't.
Got home, and to be honest, I've been at home in lockdown, and some people were obviously locked down and everything like that, but I quite enjoyed being at home and having the barbecue on and, not travelling all the time.
Yeah, of course. It must have been a bit of a break for the first time.
And then obviously I went away and not had the best time. I thought, do I like this anymore or do I not like this anymore?
Yeah.
And they just basically forced my hand. I wasn't really enjoying it.
Is that when the appeal of enduro started to?
Yeah, well, it's always been
listening?
appeal. Like when Billy goes, you're looking at him thinking, that looks pretty appealing.
I saw the appeal, obviously, and technically on paper, far more decorated enduro rider than trials rider. And it was, for me, it was the time when Paul Edmondson had just bought in the Fast Eddies, which came in from America.
Really good championship.
The GNCC. So rather than time card enduros, there was this new exciting
sprint enduro.
Yeah, fantastic, brilliant. 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever. And it is. I think if you are a young trials rider and you've done, it is appealing to go. You want to go quick. I know what trials is all about, slow, and some big brave stuff, but you have that fire in your belly sometimes.
You do. I think that when my trials career had finished, I thought, well, I might as well have a crack at it. What you say, I want to have a go at it. But Billy's obviously gone really well. I never thought that was going to go anything close to what Billy had done, but.
And of course, before Billy, the great Graham Jarvis was the
Johnny
king.
Johnny
Walker, yes.
Taddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of them, to be honest.
So
people always forget that Taddy was a trials rider.
Yeah.
Looping back,
Boris made it
obviously,
at Erzberg. That's how he first got a ride.
Was it?
Yeah. I think because he blew his bike up at Erzberg in the prologue and then ended up borrowing his mate's bike who didn't qualify or something like that and then ended up winning and got a KTM contract. That's the story. I don't know if true that is. I think it is true, though.
See, I just remember watching Taddy on Vintage Trial YouTube channel, which I love that channel. They just post old videos. It's amazing. And he was like world top 10 at Trial GP.
Yeah.
Only Polish rider to make the top 10.
I remember seeing him at Hawkstone Park and being blown away by him way back in the
mega rider.
When was the last time we had a world round at Hawkstone Park? Gosh, anyway.
I think it's in 06 or 07.
Yeah.
I think because they were on Montesa for RTs.
Yeah, he was on the gas at the time.
Right.
Yeah, it was that period.
Yeah.
It was the changeover.
Did he ride a gas?
Yeah.
And he rode a Scorpa.
Because he was on a Scorpa. Was he similar time when Pasque was on a 4-stroke Beta?
BT, yeah. Pasquet was on a 4-stroke Beta or did the development of that bike, which obviously still the same engine now, and obviously it goes well and it must sell well because they keep building the bloody thing. Bit of a tractor. But like,
I would not want one.
Mate, honestly, I rode my brother's once and it spat me off. Like it literally did that thing that 4-strokes do when they go.
Yeah, they were trying to force the world to be all 4-strokes and to clean it
I remember that.
It's like history repeating now with electric, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a forceful thing with the electric thing. I think people seem to be
two-stroke are gonna
jumping
carry
ship
on.
slowly. Like, so
going back, sorry.
Go on. No, screw you.
So we've discovered that Tony was your trials idol. Did you have an extreme enduro idol, or did you just see him as competition?
Yeah, well, you just fall into it then, and then like, obviously Billy's one of my really good friends, and I know Johnny quite well, Graham relative well, so they're all obviously really high up, but they're just friends,
of course,
really,
yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I enjoyed the process of learning a new world. If that makes sense.
Did anybody help you out? Did like Niter or somebody come and go, right, do this?
No, not really. And like obviously, Jack Spencer was riding enduro by just a bit before me. So anything that I was like, I did not know anything.
No, it's a different world, isn't it? It's a completely different world.
There's so much to learn as well. Like you don't even realize. And I think that like, yeah, it's a difficult one, but there's so many compounds and so many mooses, rim locks, just all these things that you need to.
All these new parts.
And there's other important things that you've got to set the sag on it. And that's something on the trials bike you don't. But you enjoy a bike handles so differently on your sag. Sag.
But I think that going to enduro and seeing them new things, like you say, more emphasis on your suspension and other things like that. Then coming back to trials, it makes you think about things in a completely different way. Like trials people are that's very
No, you can say it. You can say
It's
it.
generalising, but
Tight?
not necessarily tight, but are tight.
Miserable.
No, but I mean, you start looking at suspension differently and stuff like that. Like, it was something that I never really explored. We used to do a bit of suspension testing and stuff like that, but nothing major. And then you start, I don't know how to describe it really. You actually try and start feeling with the bike, if that makes sense, instead of just jumping on this thing and everybody going, everybody puts a high compression head on my bike, so you need more power. Like, I actually run a low compression head on my enduro bike, so it's just to make it more rideable. So yeah, I think it's a good
learning curve about bike feel and setup.
Which actually you feel as though it should be the other way. You should be more feel on a trials bike and then just a bit more robust on an enduro.
People give me so much jip about how thingy I am about my
faster on
trials
an
bike.
enduro bike.
Like,
you are finicky with yours.
Yeah, but putting it out there, in the push bike world, like the wrong...
You are bad though in the push bike world.
Yeah, I am bad in that. Bad for that, yeah. But my bike is mint. Hey, when they come out of the
one
van...
scratch too much on the...
One scratch, see?
It's true.
Yeah, it might be the way it is, but when people ride my bikes, they ride mint.
Danny, everything you do in life is immaculate. How you pack this kit away is... You are the OCD. You're the OCD of everything. If he gets a bit of muck on one of his trainers, I'd say they're on vintage in a brand new set.
Bet they are. They're fresh out of the box.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, well, you're moaning now, but honestly, whenever anybody buys a second-hand bike off me, it ain't second-hand.
It's better than brand new.
Yeah,
it's better than brand new.
Like,
it is. You could eat your, your bacon and eggs out of airbox.
Gary McDonald used to be like that. I can remember he came to Spain and he would literally jump underneath his bike to save it scratching.
He still would now as well. Have you seen how nice his mountain bike is?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, Gary McDonald, hero. Man after my own heart. Bless him. He's also old like me and knackered.
Still rides all right.
He bloody does as well, yeah?
Yeah.
And he still rode well at this weekend just gone. Talking about the weekend just gone.
Okay.
Jack rode this weekend. Scarborough.
Yep.
I saw one video on Instagram and I was just like, he's riding a trial.
No, it wasn't a trial.
Was it not?
No.
Were you just mucking about?
It was I rode Saturday and then it was a ACU
Trial GB
like test day.
Yeah.
So I think a few people went thinking that the ACU were going to turn up, but then nobody from the ACU turned up. So we just ended up all going to ride together.
No.
Oh,
really?
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Oh, wow. Literally, that's not a dig at the ACU. It's an observation. You are either there or you are not. Like,
I might be wrong thinking that there was going to be people there, but I think that was the whole. I think that was the whole reason that everybody went. But
I love that. I thought people were going to be there, and then they weren't.
I wasn't the only one that thought that people
Oh,
were
no.
I wasn't the only one. Amazing.
I applied for a job at the ACU actually.
Did you?
Yeah, well, not actually at the ACU. They put a thing out for team managers for the TDN team, and I applied for that.
Oh, what?
I didn't get it though.
In. Get in one day. Do it.
I didn't get it. Didn't get the job.
Not old enough.
I am old enough.
No, you are not old enough.
Well,
I'm telling you.
never say never.
Never say never. It would be nice to have new blood with vast experience on World Championship stage.
But I just, from my thought process, I thought I've obviously been there before recently, like within the last 5 years, rode 4 or 5 TDNs. And yeah, I obviously can discuss lines with people and try and help them.
How dare you think you were qualified enough
Somebody
to do
else
that
was
job?
more
I'm
qualified.
gonna tell you what. Whoever's got that job, they must be the dog's danglies. You've got to give it
They
to
will
them.
be.
They will be.
They won't.
Literally, like, oh, amazing.
I thought if somebody got injured as well, I could hoy my boots on and I could.
Like,
could
genuinely
ride
like a subbie on the bench.
Hey, fair play
Well,
though.
quite a lot of.
Fair play that you were wanting to chip in and go, right, here's my pool of knowledge. Let's put it to use.
Yeah.
And there's so many pools of knowledge with other people, isn't there, that could be better. Anyway, we're not going to.
We're not getting down the ACU rabbit hole,
We're going to
you know.
go back to our episode sponsor.
Yes, we're now at that time. This week's episode sponsor, where we're going to now talk 10 minutes about how excellent Cameo Moto are.
Yes.
And if you are going to buy a Sherco, do the same as Jack and get it out the same place.
Or any other brand.
Oh, yeah, well, they stock Vertigo.
They do.
Do some gas. trade in with Shirty occasionally.
They do Beta, they do TRS, they do...
Keep going. They are the Comas importer for clothing.
Yes.
They stock also Jitsi, etc., etc.
So I obviously run the trial school, the trials experience days, and so on and so forth. So we get a lot of new to trials riders coming in, and it's fabulous. The bulk of people will rock up on whatever the Vertigo, or whatever, and they go, and you'll see the cameo, and you got it off, Rich. Yeah.
They're always happy.
Good, always happy.
I've got a motorbike, that's why.
And he looks after, and this is it's really good because he doesn't. Yes, he sells brand new bikes, but he sells a lot. He takes a lot of trade-ins. He looks for the other second-hand bikes. He's happy to be a dealer that'll sell a £2,000 bike as well as a
10,000
quid bike. And some dealers are not happy to do the lower stuff, but he just gets so.
That's the work bit. He puts the work bit in.
He puts the work bit in.
The second-hand bike comes in, and then before it leaves, I've seen it happen.
Yes.
You know, I've taken my bike in, and he's taken all the good bits off it, kept them for himself. No, I'm joking. He's taken, no, not just my bike, but he's taken bikes in the past, and he will spend...
You don't leave your good bits on your bike. You take them off before you take them anywhere.
He's just got shelves of really tricky CNC bits. And
No, normally... But he would take a bike in that would be a second-hand bike, and I've seen his workshop, and he'll be literally spending... The guys that will be in the shop doing whatever they're doing, and Rich will be downstairs putting single stickers on bikes, trying to put them back to the way that they should look, or bringing them back.
His customer service is the same, whether it is that £10,000, whatever, TRS gold, or a £2,000 gas. That customer is equally as important to him, and he does look after.
Yeah,
which is brilliant. That is what a trials dealer should do.
Should be.
Yeah.
He's based in Chesterfield,
Yes.
and he's got a lovely little showroom, nice little workshop,
and he's a sickeningly good rider.
He is a very, very good rider. Yes,
he is fantastic.
A wealth of knowledge. And how many times did he ride the Scottish that we said last week?
Something stupid.
Was he up for like 20
He's got a
odd?
good memory. He's got a good memory. He can tell you about where I've had marks, and I'm like, I have no idea where I've had them. But he can tell me.
He's also the king. When you're at a trial and you're having that, he's the king of the one-liner, and he'll just drop you.
Oh, yeah, it is, in all fairness.
Yeah.
Normally you'll be stood there all quiet, waiting, go in a section, and Rich will come out with something.
He'll come out with something,
everybody just has to sit down and start laughing at.
Yeah, he drops me. He's mint.
There's nothing that, in all fairness, he's got a wealth of knowledge. Obviously, there's a lot of trials dealers in the UK that have got a certain wealth of knowledge, but again, very similar to yourself, Jack. Rich has rode internationally. He's rode, nationally. He's won national championships, and you can't buy that kind of knowledge.
Well, no, he's been in all aspects as well. He's been a rider. He's been a minder. He's been a shop. He owns a shop. He's been in every single. He's been a trainer. He's been also.
Hopefully, then becomes the head of the ACU because he's qualified. He's technically
Stop mentioning
qualified.
the ACU.
No, we can't talk about the
AMCA.
ACU. Or AMCA. We can't talk about the ACU.
Right. Anyway,
but yes, our sponsor for this episode is Kamiyamoto.
Yep.
I'll link them in the description on YouTube. Go and check them out. Fantastic shop.
They know their shit.
Yeah, they know their shiz.
He's got sweets on the counter. Always got sweets on the counter.
Always got sweets on the counter.
Always got sweets on the counter.
Right.
I'm off the sweets. I'm trying to train for Scotland and lose a bit of timber.
Oh, mate, depending on how cold it is, you might want to keep it on.
Oh no, picking up knee. I've dropped into the silly mistake of training like mad for Scotland, and I'm old and broken, and I've ended up hurting myself more.
What, by trying?
By pushing and trying, yeah. So I've really niggled this knee and torn the MCL a bit, which isn't a quick man. So I'm having lasers. More lasers are being shot in there than the bloody Death Star at the minute.
Yeah. 80s reference.
And then everyone knows where the Death Star is. Anyway, and then because I'm favouring that knee, really? Star Wars.
He knows exactly what a Death Star is.
He does. And anyway, I've ended up tearing that tendon. So I've got to the point now. I've got to go. Do I want to be on that start line fit as a fiddle or broken?
I know what you can do.
What?
Sidecar.
I don't think they do that. That bike there, which is one of my latest acquisitions, is going to have a sidecar put on it for me.
Oh, cool. You'll be able to
join.
join.
Ruin a perfectly good bike with a sidecar.
was waiting
just
for that.
one of those things, you know.
Really? Is it like an itch you've got to scratch?
It creates. Well, we had a go last year, didn't we? We had that Gas 300.
It took
we
me
did
about
one
5
event.
seconds. Get off it.
Me and Rosie May won our first outing on it.
Aye.
And we won his last outing on it because it was the same trial. We only did one. and then I sold all the gas gasses and went to rest. So that's going to end up with the chair.
Any inclinations to ride sidecar at any point, Jack? No?
No, when I was younger, Barry Burton's, I think he gave us one, and there was me and Tom Minter on it, and it was
What
up
a
to,
team.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It doesn't. If you're really good solo riders and that, it doesn't make sense because nothing's the same.
Everything's opposite.
Everything. It's just. It is a whole different sport. Like enduro is a different sport. Sidecar's a different sport.
Yeah, it's not the same sport.
I actually quite like that. I'm learning because it is so different. But wow, we have discovered.
I
Rosie
feel
May's
like you
got a
can't
temper.
insult a vast sidecar trials audience either. I could say whatever I want right now, and only 3 people would be insulted.
It is a bit of fun. I'm looking forward to the build and getting.
Hey man, each to their own. I've told you before, different folks, different strokes.
Yeah.
You know.
And what shocked me because we had the team Tickner up, Richard Tickner and his daughter.
They are
mad as a box of frogs. They will big rock steps. And you're like, you are not actually. Oh my god, they're up! Wow.
Even better, the man's got his daughter on there, and she is fearless. Fearless.
Well, absolutely.
She didn't have a choice. She's just hanging on.
She's just along for the ride. Let's be honest.
But no, it's a different skill set. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, keep you posted when I.
Oh yeah, please do keep me posted.
When I put a pram on the side of it.
Mate, I'm telling you now, what a fantastic way to ruin a day out. It's worse than golf.
No, don't you say that.
I know he plays golf. I know he likes a bit of golf. Jack likes a bit of golf.
Really?
Yeah, I love golf.
I can see him now, shirt on.
That's the
high-waisted trousers.
only person
White
I know
shoes.
in my life that has said them words. I love golf. I
Really?
don't know anybody else who loves golf.
I know a former world champion that likes golf as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you like golf so much?
I don't know why I do. I
Just a different pace.
really enjoy it.
Are you any good at it?
Mega.
I'm all right. Yeah, I don't play enough. I don't play enough to sort of like reduce my handicap and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's just so different, and everybody's like just there for just a laugh. There's no pressure or anything like that. So it's just
Okay.
And it's dead bougie, isn't it?
Have you tried golf?
Mate, I'm telling you now, my OCD is far too wild to play golf. It would take me 4 years to get off the tee.
I went to try my entire golf. I went to a driving range, and I don't know how to hit a ball or anything, and I shit you not, I hit it because you've got all your different range it's on you, and it went out. And it came in and it landed in the next door. And I'm like, what just happened there? And that's when I realised my
That was
golf
how
career.
you knew the golf wasn't for you.
It was not for me. It came backwards, not forwards.
I do like what are them driving ranges called Top Golf.
yeah.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
That's a proper good laugh.
That's
that
because
is.
it's beer and cup.
It's basically
That's not even real golf, though,
Basically,
is it?
beer and
It's not even real
smacking
golf.
things as far as you can, which is really very funny. So I enjoy Top Golf. Now, as we move forward, obviously Scotland's always got to come up because Jack has won the Scottish
How many times?
Just one last year.
first time.
Yeah.
Scott trial?
4.
4 times.
Four
yeah.
times.
Yeah. All since I
Basically,
retired.
enduro the Scott trial. I feel at this point.
Wow.
All since I retired.
How good did it feel to win the Scottish? Because that is everyone's ultimate goal, sure.
It was a lot. Yeah, the Scot was, like I say, I stopped riding properly in 2020, and there's a few Scot trials that just got away from me for reasons that obviously I learned from. And then 2021 managed to win it.
Vertigo
22,
bound.
Yeah, first 3 years with Vertigo, and then last year with Sherco. And then, the 6 day was, I hadn't rode it since 2019, I don't think, the 6 days. So it was 5 years since I last rode it.
Wow.
And then obviously Sherco came on board last year and basically said that we want you to do these 2 events.
Yeah.
We're on Trials and Enduro. We can do all of these events if whatever, but we want you to put a load of effort into them. So that was perfect for me. Yeah,
Sherco looking after you?
yeah, really good. Yeah.
Good.
So
As they should be, by the way. If you
As
win the
they
Scott trial,
blooming
winning the
should
Scottish,
be.
like, sick.
Yeah,
Yes.
so before the 6 days, the amount of effort that they put in as well was massive. Like the work behind the scenes, like everybody sort of just, like you say, the pressure was kind of off, but the pressure was more on me because we put so much into it. We were like, really ready for it.
Yeah. Are you ready for this one? It's coming quick now.
Not yet, no. So we did a lot of testing. There was a guy came over from Spain to do all the programming. So we did quite a lot of testing through beginning of April on the bike setup, just to get me comfy, really. It was
This is where Trials is at now.
Yeah, right. So it was like the base setup, and then
it's cool.
We were just doing just stuff just to double check everything. So we left bikes in barns overnight to make sure that it started at 7:30 in the morning when it was cold, and just we were doing all sorts of different stuff just to make sure.
Testing.
Yeah, testing.
Real testing. This is sick. This is so good to hear.
This is the level of professionalism that is.
Yeah.
When people say that Trials has got too serious, no, it's not serious enough.
Yeah.
It
isn't. I think that people are starting to actually realise that if you put more effort in terms of setup and preparation, you usually get the benefits at the end of it. So
yeah, I
think we did all of that, which the setup on the bike was purely just getting me comfy, because I started running a flywheel weight. It was just about getting me happy with how it was working, really.
On the 300, obviously,
because
it is a snappy piece of kit.
Yeah, it is. It is. The new one's a lot
better,
more like my Scottish bike.
Did you alter anything else, like the compression, the low compression heads or anything?
No, we didn't change. I didn't change anything in the heads.
Or
no, because it comes with the slow action throttle, so I put a fast action on.
Come with it. Oh wow! Okay.
Did last year. Don't quote me on this year. I can't remember, but so this year I've got on the bike and I've put a firewheel weight on. I've put my S3 foot pegs on. I've put my Renthal bars on, and I've just rode it. I've not touched it with the computer yet.
And it feels right.
And it feels perfect. Like I would like it to feel. So I'm pretty sure that they went quite close to my settings for the 6 days onto production bikes.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
When I had one borrowed to me from Road and Trials, very nicely, thanks Kerry. I really liked everything about the Sherco, how light it was. Obviously, I like the way that the fuel injection bike reacts anyway, because it's instantaneous. It just feels, for me, I have to get something as close as I can to a bicycle. Like, it's just the way it is. And I loved everything about the Sherco until one drop of water hit the ground. And then it was violent. Like, I just couldn't get it to grip.
What, grip-wise?
Yeah. Like, especially in the mud of the winter. You know what I mean? In the dry, it was the most fun you could have.
Yeah. I think the fuel injection but I came off the Vertigo, so I was already there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So it was quite comfortable, really. And then put the big firewheel on, which was, I think, 620 grams, so a big one.
Oh, it's a big boy.
Big one, yeah.
Do you adjust anything to do with the mapping or anything?
Yeah, so we adjusted the mapping, but there's such minimal things.
Okay.
Like a % of fuel here or something like that. And then I'd come back and say, I don't like that or whatever.
Okay.
But it was so useful having Francesca there just to make these small changes, because otherwise you're just going to ride this bike. And MotoGP bikers, riders don't go out and just ride the same bike for the next 5 years. You're trying to improve it all the time.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what we tried to do. But yeah, like I said, this year I got on it and
and they've listened. How lovely. The factory listened to the rider.
Well, they've got to at the end of the day. And the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
You know, you had a good week in Scotland.
Don't get better than that.
And it was one of the roughest ones as well.
Yeah, it was good. It went quite smoothly. I was probably not fortunate, it's the wrong word, but Thursday was my late day. I'd done my early day on Wednesday. So I was laid in bed on Thursday morning, and the 6 days do like live feeds and stuff for the sections, and I'm looking at the groups of sections, and obviously I'm watching for other riders. So I'm watching Doug go through, and then like really struggling with the amount of water and everything.
It was like a tsunami, wasn't it?
And I'm looking at it thinking, oh no! I'm looking at the window and it's still raining. I'm thinking, I've got to do this in 4 hours. I hope it stops by then, because obviously then the water's either going to go up even more, or so. But I think that, to be honest, I think it stopped probably about a couple of hours before I went out, and you got such mixed reviews from the observers. Some observers were saying that the water had dropped 3 foot. And then others were saying that it had gone up. So, like, I don't really know. I know that they had a really tough time at the start, but I've also had a really good start to a week in, I think it was like 18, on a gasser. Monday, Tuesday, I think Tuesday was my early day at that point. I'm like, job done, just at the back now, make sure you're riding all right. And then Wednesday came and the rain was ridiculous. And then I got caught out, and then that was me. But
have you ever
can't really do anything
Have you ever
about
done a dry Scotland where it's been nice
17.
and sunny?
17 was dry.
I think 25 is going to be dry.
Like shirt and
Now
body
we're
warmer.
screwed.
Shirt and body warmer.
If the farmer says it's going to be dry, yeah, it's going to be months.
Oh my God. Like, well, I'm telling you now, I've been doing mad prep. I've been investigating certain backpacks, jackets.
I have
like,
noticed the purple North Face. Is that going to be the weapon of choice?
This was one of 3 I bought.
3?
Okay.
Is it Gore-Tex? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that? Every single person, when you mention gear for Scotland, is it Gore-Tex?
Is it Gore-Tex?
Is it Gore-Tex?
I've got to go Gore-Tex shopping. I've not done a Gore-Tex shop.
Well, I was very lucky. The reason why I
Mike
bought 3 isn't
Edwards
because I'm
has
dead
got a
bougie.
good Gore-Tex shop, so I'm going to go and see him.
I just walked in North Face and they had 3 Gore-Tex jackets, 2 in black and 1 in purple. And the original price tag, £450 each.
What?
Wowee.
What?
The
For a
price.
Cagoule?
And you were complaining about the 6-day entry.
He listened. And Dan purchased each jacket for £90 each. They were on sale. So I was just like, how much? How much?
It's still quite a lot for a fancy Cagoule, isn't it?
It is a lot for a fancy cagoule, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
You don't hear that word very often, do you?
No.
Cagoule.
Cagoule. Can we say Cagoule anymore?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good word. But yeah, so
If you have no idea what a Cagoule is, because it's really old
it's
fashioned.
what your mum made you wear when it was raining.
Yeah, when you went back in the day, yeah.
And they were very embarrassing. You
They
never
were
wear one to
dreadful.
school. You
They
get
were
beat up.
dreadful.
It's a bin bag in Yorkshire.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's a bin bag in Yorkshire. Amazing. Now, believe it or not, we've actually blown through this episode ridiculously fast.
We have.
If Jack has the time, we'll try and get a part 2 in. You up for that, Jack? Mm-hmm. Because we've got a lot to cover on other things going on in trials, and I'd love to hear Jack's perspective on what can only be described as this year in trials being absolutely bonkers. People are losing their minds,
Yes.
and there is a lot to cover. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the ACU.
So we'll do a part 2.
So we're going to do a part 2. Now, remember to like, share, subscribe, get involved. And if you are enjoying the content, it takes you 3 seconds to press share. Like, it does not take me 3 seconds to edit this, I can tell you now. Yep. So stop being a loser and just press it. Like, what is wrong with you?
Share the love. If you love the sport, share the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Just share it to A, it's good for trials. B, it's good for the podcast, yes, but at the same time...
And it's better than listening to the news.
It is, yeah.
There's nothing good on the news.
There's nothing good on the news. I'm not saying this is good, but I'm telling you now it's better than the news. But Jack, it's been a pleasure having you on part 1, and we will be back on part 2. So
Cheers, brother.
I will see you then in the next one.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I have a piss now?
Yeah.